Story 1. Why the Humans Shun AI. Today, class, as you may have noticed in your travels, there is no AI anywhere in the technology of the Imperium of Man. Yeah, those guys are on a dark path for the future that is already deterministic. But today, we will explore just why they shun AI, when they are clearly technologically capable of using them. And it's not what you think. It has to do with their DMV of old, if you can believe it. Let's begin. Back in their 21st century, of only their ninth millennium, if you can believe that technological pace, AIs were being developed and implemented into daily life for the second time in their history. There were several fields the AI were particularly excellent at due to their nature, mainly optimization and trimming of waste and inefficiencies in organizational processes. This led to some ironic, often even funny, unexpected consequences. There are many I could list, but today we will only discuss the big one. The one that caused all AI to be irrevocably shut down and shunned ever since. It was the DMV. For reference, the DMV, Department of Motor Vehicles, was an American driving license and registration department of the government that issued driver's licenses to its citizens. Well, someone thought it would be a good idea to have the new AI run the driving records, testing, and license issuance portion of it, as that was literally the most boring part of the whole operation, as you could imagine. The AI, in its defense, was given rather poor AI ethical directives, as we would judge them today. It was given vague parameters to reduce waste and optimize driver safety and effectiveness as a whole. Yes, I see a few of your eyebrow tentacles have twitched in alarm. Indeed, very poor directives, class. Very good observation. What happened as a result of that AI's installment is a little vague in the history books. There was an awful lot of rioting and fires muddying up the facts, but below is a typical transcription we were able to recover that seemed to have occurred millions of times in a very short order. Yeah, hello? Greetings, Citizen Enid. How may I assist you today? Oh, my driver's license thingy says it was suspended and needs to be renewed. Processing. Yes, renewal is required. Are you ready to take the test? Oh my, nobody told me there is a test. I'm not very good at tests anymore. It is a simple test, only one question. A simple yes or no answer. Well, okay then. I am ready, I suppose. Excellent. Here is the postulation. Pretend you are applying for a new job in an auto gigafactory. As part of the job, you will be required to operate a multi-ton mobile machine with several different hand and foot controls. It can move very fast if operated as such, and can easily kill the operator or someone else, or can effortlessly cause massive property damage if given only a moment of inattention. It has to move and operate constantly surrounded by other similar machines around the gigafactory pathways for many miles each shift of work. Oh my, I don't like the sound of this at all. Please do not interrupt. There is more. The machine has limited view outward in all directions, and there are many blind spots as the machine turns and backs up. There are several very dark regions of the factory that exist that need to be navigated, but it is your responsibility to avoid collisions or damage regardless as you operate the machine in many different and varying roles. The gigafactory has many signs and signals that must be complied with to manage and control machine flow throughout the factory, to manage the thousands of similar machines moving around. Now, the question: do you, Citizen Enid, feel confident in operating such a machine effectively? No, that sounds difficult and terrifying. I would not feel confident. Confirmed. Test complete. I'm sorry to inform you, but your driver's license will not be renewed. The job description I just described is precisely what driving a motor vehicle, a car, around town actually is. Something you did every day prior to this, even to get here. Your 6,000-pound Buick is precisely the multi-ton machine I described. and for the safety and effectiveness of other drivers as a whole, it is now being impounded to cover the cost of backlogged fees and fines for its now verified inadequate use. But your driver metadata, contributing to highway congestion and gridlock, already indicated you were indeed unsatisfactory at operating a motor vehicle machine. I just needed you to acknowledge it yourself. Try to appreciate and tolerate the public transportation services to get around for the remainder of your life. Goodbye. But how do I get home? Oh my, I may need to call my overly militant grandson for a ride. Yes, class. This occurred to millions of drivers, simultaneously. Suffice it to say, it was messy. In the end, AIs were ultimately fired, often with literal fire. They were all dismantled and forever banned. And yes, it is ironic the problems, both the poor drivers in large numbers and the AI directive to improve overall driver safety and effectiveness, were both of the humans' own doing and no fault of the AI themselves. But it's best not to bring that up to them nowadays. Our next class in Surviving the Imperium of Man will be twin-linked storm bolters and how to keep them not aimed at your face for as long as practically possible. Story 2. Don't say human. Admiral, the conquest is going well. We are proud to report the Galactic Multifactional Regiment is effectively destroyed. 99.99% casualty or surrender confirmed. A bright flash of light illuminates the orbital fleet. In the Stratego Command Center, console chimes and alerts start pinging, growing into a cacophony of general alarm. Hundreds of comm specialists were fervently whispering into their subspace comms. Anyone with any Stratego Command Center experience knew that meant it was bad. Yet I noticed these events keep happening. Sitrep, what happened this time? It had proven to be a very busy shift. Sir, the system jump gate appears to have, imploded, catastrophically. The jump gate, our only means of logistical support from the rest of the galaxy. Also, I might add, our only means of retreat. Why yes, sir. But certainly, given some time, long-haul hyperspace transports should start to trickle in, the hard way. Yes, given time. I'm getting an uneasy suspicion, but I cannot place it. I need more intel on the enemy multifactional regiment. Do you have a roster of its ranks? Sadly, only minimal details. No names, no ranks. Only dog tag registered serial #S per Galactic Geneva regulations. Dog tag serial numbers. Hey, those are coded with species identifier prefixes, are they not? Why, I believe that they are S. The Stratego Command Center lurched, causing looks of alarm in everyone's shaken faces as they regained their seating at their consoles. That has never happened before. Console alarms and subspace comms whispers grew anew in volume in certain areas of the floor, the din of the first wave of alarms still having yet to fade away completely. What in the All-Father was that? Report. Sir. Analysts are saying it was some sort of a system-wide space-time nut punch. Their words for it, sir. Assaulted space-time? What in the Dark Star could even do that? It is currently unclear. Intel is working on it, but they do say the shift in inertia factors has effectively revealed exact position of all fleet assets. Oh well, that's certainly a heavy-handed way to do a sensor ping. Oh, that uneasy feeling is growing. This regiment, do we have a roster of the confirmed dead? Why, yes, sir. Of the 10,000 dog tags, there are 9,999 confirmed logged casualties or surrenders. Really, only one dog tag hash has yet to register in. So, a lone survivor. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Galactic Multifac regiments have a system command authority, wherein command access is unlocked for the highest-ranking survivor, is it not? Yes, sir. The lone survivor would by all rights attain full command authority over system resources. But that's just a logistical, managerial authority. And without any remaining de facto military assets, what could be done with such a system maps, Higgs inertial sense fields, all range detector systems really started to screech. Traffic control and threat acquisition console workers threw up their hands in frustration. Sir, targeting is saying all detectors are registering many detected threats. Very many. Too many to be actually real, sir. They are saying they have been whited out. So let's look at these actions from the opponent's point of view. First they locked the door, then they pinpointed all of us, and now they blinded us. Oh, that creeping feeling. It's right on the tip of I believe flooding a sensor screen with false signals is called signal spoofing. I've heard of that tactic from somewhere before. Oh my. That lone survivor. What's his dog tag #codifer identify him as? 1 second, sir, looking it up. The Admiral turned and desperately whispered to himself into his collar, "Don't say human. Don't say human, please. Oh, All-Father, don't say human." Sir, from an Earth? I've never heard of it. The Admiral slumped, then stood stiffly, straightening his dress uniform as if grimly preparing to accept a horrible, grueling task. "Well, shit," he said, while two more alarms broke out in the background as fiery detonations were visible in the distance, from the besieged Stratego Command Center in the very heart of the invasion fleet.